Hey kids, you trying to get into Segment City? Well, you really shouldn't, because Segment City is a mature podcast, and listener discretion is advised. I'm just trying to look at... I know I'm in an alleyway. I know how I look, but I got some fireworks for you kids. I got snakes and I got sparklers. That's all I got. Oh, don't give me that.
Will, what do you know about the Drake Passage?
The Drake Passage, a lot of people tried to find it over the years, but it's been blocked by a strange kind of guard named Kendrick Lamar. And he's here to stop Drake.
You see where I'm going with this. Yes. So I was recently chatting with some friends, and we were talking about the Drake Passage, and someone happened to bring it up on Google Maps, and there are reviews of the Drake Passage on Google Maps that the public needs to know about.
That's actually great. Wow.
So these are some reviews of the Drake Passage, which, for those who can't remember their geography, is the body of water between southern Argentina and Antarctica that was discovered by some
Nathan Drake. That's the guy from
I think Francis Drake.
That was the plot of the first.
There you go. Sic Parvis Magnum. Will, just for you there.
You recently played that game. Fuck you. How dare you?
Okay, so the reviews that I saw that were funny fall into three categories. The first of which is Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. They just went on Google. They went on Google Maps. They searched Drake. They found the Drake Passage, and they thought, the people have to know my opinions on this particular battle.
Was it a lot of don't bring a minor?
Yes, here's the first one. Great place, but make sure you don't bring any kids or else you will permanently disappear from the Drakes that live in the passage. Another one. These are all reviews. So remember, they have star ratings attached to them.
Oh, wait. So is that like 1 star?
They mix, you know what? They mix it up. Sometimes they leave the weird comment and they give it 5. Sometimes it's 2. Sometimes it's 1. Great trip. Seen Jay-Z, Diddy, and Drake's cruise ships. Okay. Don't bring the kids here. Drake took them to the Diddy party. Not good. Not good.
Oh, no.
Nice place, but please be careful. Drake eats kids. I didn't know that was. That's what the song was about. It was about him eating the kids.
You know that very famous portrait of like the giant guy, and he's eating like a corpse, and it's I'm imagining that with Drake. Drake that's the monster. He's like biting.
Next one. I don't like Drake at all. Good. Just gotta let the people. You gotta leave that review. You gotta leave the review wherever you can.
I'm fine with those reviews because anybody with a sound mind will look at that and go, "This okay." So there's more on, and like this doesn't actually have to do with this pass.
I'm imagining my mom like looking around Google Maps and be like, "What's the deal with Drake? Why does she sound like an old lady?"
You're like, "Oh God, do I have to explain a rap beef?"
Okay, like, Mom. So it all started. Next review is Kendrick Passage better. Fair enough.
There you go.
Kendrick Passage better.
Listen, I am a way bigger Kendrick fan.
Next one, Drake touched me. Just that's it. That's all I wanted to let Google users know.
That's just on the nose.
Drake's Passage, kind of sus. That's a review right there. Just kind of sus.
It's eerie in here.
Okay, so category number 2 is what comedy venue did you think this was? Why are you doing a bit? Why are you doing a bit in the comments? Okay. Why are you doing a bit? Here's the first one. What's up, guys? Sir Francis Drake here. I love discovering this straight after my circumnavigation of the globe. I must say, womp womp to the Spanish. Nuestra Senora de la Concepcion really got robbed. 480 million for us Brits. It's time for a Stella and a crumpet.
Wow, crumpets. Wow, I was on board until they went womp womp, like it's a millennial post, like on LinkedIn, like a LinkedIn post.
Yeah, like a LinkedIn lunatic, yes. Next one. This wasn't a good choice for an afternoon canoeing, despite what the local guide said. Also, we couldn't find any beach bars or natives selling handmade trinkets, and we looked everywhere. Fishing was acceptable. Poor wine selection. It's like what?
I'm sorry. Did you expect a winery of like, welcome? It's Bigfoot Winery.
One more is here. Oh, my boat was lost at sea here. Send gulp. Help gulp. Why are you in the Google comments? Get out of here.
They're just having fun now. People get real bored, I guess.
All right, and then last category was, I'm just confused about these ones. These are just confusing.
You're now offering it for us to also be confused.
This
by
one,
yes.
all lowercase. Pray to the Lord before you come here.
Oh, that's foreboding, my man. That is what.
And you know what? I think that one was 3 stars. It's okay.
3 hours.
Stars.
That's even funnier, actually.
Okay.
You know, just kind of so.
Yes.
Really.
Next one. Great. Thanks for leaving that.
Cool. Thanks.
Next one. Does it have free Wi-Fi? By the way, looks beautiful.
Cool. Okay, so you didn't go. You didn't
go. It looks beautiful.
You saw it on Google Maps. You thought it looks nice.
This next one, 5 stars. Nice. I'm from Pakistan. Nice.
Nice.
I'm from Pakistan. And then the last one was my favorite of all of them. 1 star. My son always vomit.
Every time he does his pass, I think it's the ghost.
My
Sir
son
Francis Drake,
vomit.
who's coming, and he says, "Leave now, but remember to leave a good Google review."
5 stars, 5 stars. See
So
you later. Too scary, Davy Jones. Too scary.
Too scary. Don't do that. But you know what? These are just the different reviews that come from people from Segment City, known for being a bunch of pranksters. You know, just happens. Some cities do have that reputation. I think Philadelphia kind of has that, but less nice. Like it's more riotty.
It's not pranksters so much as assholes, I think is what.
They kind of destroy their own city, whether they win or lose any given sports team. But let's introduce ourselves. My name is Will Kane, and I'm searching for the lost treasure of Drake. Give it back, Nathan. Come on.
And I'm Theosopakos, and to stave off scurvy, I'm eating a lime.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it, but it's an audio medium. It's only for me. And
that one was only for Will. It was now I'm free of scurvy, baby.
And this is a podcast in which Theo and I, we dumpster dive our way through the internet. We get those good comedy morsels, as you've already seen from that first segment. But we're going to do our first segment, our first segment, I should say, of Will's Stupid Thought.
We're so back.
And this is based off of an earlier thought that you had of, is there a male equivalent to horse girls? And following based on that, is there a male equivalent to horoscopes / star signs?
This was one of my best questions ever. This is one of my best takes.
It is one of those things where I do feel like you and I sometimes mind meld a little too much, where I was like, did we have a conversation about this? Because this feels very familiar. Like, because when you said it on the podcast, I was like, wow, yeah, this is it. And then I was like, did we actually talk about this before? But that happens all the time with us. But this is something that we definitely haven't talked about because we aren't really we aren't really horoscope. I mean, we're let's be honest, we're too logical to be horoscope people.
We're too grounded. We're too of this planet. Yes, we're too fixated on life's immediate problems than to be gazing at the stars. I do not like talking about horoscopes. And I have a hard, it's as I age, I find it harder and harder to pretend to give a shit when someone brings it up. And I don't want to outwardly just reject someone who's really into astrology, but I also think I hate it. So
it is one of those things that it on a level, it's very fun. I like if people are doing it for the fun reason that it's meant to be, in my mind, similar to like tarot cards, where it's like if you go and your friend has a tarot card or like a Ouija board and you do a thing, you're like, oh yeah, that was a fun little thing. Right. The problem is when people get really fucking into it to the point that they will reject other human beings because you're like, sorry, you're an Aries, I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, I've had this scenario before where I feel like I'm really getting to know somebody, we're really vibing, and they're telling a story, and they get to the point in the story where they get to the drama, and they're like, yeah, so me and her, we're both Libras, so we just don't get along. And I was like, no, we were my friend, potential friendship, no. I just saw a friend die.
You just like you silently go into slow motion and it just does some sad song of like you can say oh no, my respect for you. It's gone.
It's gone.
I can't
it just died.
It's the main issue is it's similar to other kind of wooey woo spiritual things where a lot of people take advantage of it, and it has a built-in kind of like, have you ever heard of cold reading, which is what a lot of like psychics do, where they just use probability and like general knowledge to be like, oh, is there a J name? Because like a lot of names start with J or something like that. That's just a random example. But like when people like, all the horoscopes, if you read them all, they're all made to be broad to appeal to literally anyone who like, because I've read ones. I'm a Scorpio. And all those are like, you're an aggressive motherfucker and you're ready to rip the spine
your
out
tail
of anyone who gets
and you're ready
right.
to stab someone's eye.
Get him. And I'm like, I'm not really like that really. Like, and so I don't view, I'm like, okay, it's a fun little thing, but is there a male equivalent where it's a shorthand for personality? Because that's what I think a lot of women use it as, of like, oh, you're a Libra, this is how you are. And it's kind of absurd to think it's true. So like, is there a male equivalent to that? And I
think there is.
Whoa, what is it?
It's sports fandom, Will.
I kind of thought about
sports fandom,
but I wasn't sure.
I don't know very much about football, but I know about a lot about basketball. I mean, mostly it says where you're from, but I think there is a stigma around if you like one of the most popular teams, if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan for football, you might be a bandwagoner. And that does say a lot about you. That actually does like, okay, you're not from Dallas and you have no connection to Dallas and you've decided that Dallas is your city that you're representing, even though you're from, Kansas or something. Like, it's just like, it's a little like you get a little insight into the way they think.
The reason I didn't write that down as a thing, I'm not much of a sports fan, and so I didn't know if it dictated personality. Like, if you're a Dallas fan, this means you're an aggressive. I mean, if you're an Eagles fan, once again making a dig at Philadelphia, you're probably a little bit of an asshole. Yeah. I'm sorry to say you're.
I was watching a Celtics versus Philadelphia basketball game, and I was sitting next to this guy who was from Philadelphia, and he went on an absolute rant. So Philadelphia was winning. And he was like, I don't believe it, though. In the next 3 minutes, they're going to turn it over. You guys are going to take the lead and we're going to lose. And he was like so confident that his own team was going to lose. He was like so down on it. And then the game ended and they ended up winning. But the game ended and he's like, I got up to leave and he's like, don't worry, we won't see you in the playoffs. And I was like, oh, this guy hates himself.
It's like being a Buffalo Bills fan or a Jets fan or something. It's like, oh man, you should. But going off that point of being the opposite of being a bandwagoner is like what my girlfriend did when she got into hockey for at least a short stint, where she was really into the Las Vegas team, specifically because it's a desert-based team and nobody's rooting for them. Yeah, so she was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this my thing, like, which I respect. I think that's fun, like that, because then you can kind of mold the personality that it has.
Yeah, like, I would love it if Las Vegas started just embrace the desert people thing and like they became the desert people of Arrakis and they sprung out of the sand and they surprised their opponents.
Or if they just like, wait, there's street hockey? What do we been doing?
No.
We're spending so much money on all this ice.
No, guys. How do we not catch that?
Another thing that I thought of that shorthand for personality and absurd to think it's true. Money and profession, I think to a certain degree dictates, but I feel like that's a more general thing. Sure. I think everybody kind of does that. I think a male specific thing maybe is body count. That's like a new thing,
body count. Okay. Yeah. But it's like also not something you would just casually drop into conversation.
No, that's also true. Like you can't say, well, I guess people do ask that on dates, similar to body count. For people who don't know, it's literally how many people have you had sex with. But body count is also a bad term, like, because that's how refer to mass shooters.
How many people have you killed? It's like
I feel like
this is an interesting thing because it's something that is so multi-dimensional about assuming a lot about a person. And guys, I don't think read that much into a single thing. Like it's tough. Like,
yeah, I think it's not to. We ran into this for Horse Girl too, where it's like there are aspects, but it's never the full package of what makes it what it is.
I
like,
think we got close with
like,
with car guys, but we were missing out on the fact that like
it's a hobby from birth that is expensive, which from birth is probably the car guy. Like because for Horse Girls, it's the same activity since birth. Car guys, it changes from Hot Wheels to toy cars to, up to actual cars.
Right.
So maybe but
that
anyway, this is, we'll see with that. But now we're going to go on to your first segment.
My first segment comes to us from the takeout. Stronger, bolder, brasher than ever.
We're
giving us
brasher.
the content we need.
Brasher than ever. Wow. That's
and this,
big
right in
ass.
time for St. Patty's Day, Will, is entitled,
Ooh.
What Happened to McDonald's Uncle O'Grimace? What happened there? Wait, do you not know about? Do you not know about?
I don't.
You don't know about Uncle O'Grimace?
That is some
Okay,
McDonald's lore
well,
I do not
this
know
is great.
connection about.
This
Is
is
this going to be
so good.
racist? Is
This
this
is-
racist against me and my people?
Sure, who cares?
Who cares?
Here you go, Will. Grimace
Oh
has an Irish uncle, and he's been here the whole time.
this is also not an okay. He looks like what's the speaking of I think also of Philadelphia. What's the Philly Fanatics?
Oh,
Or-
like Gritty. Yeah.
Gritty, yeah, it kind of looks like Gritty because it has the same fur. Whereas Grimace himself is kind of a rug texture. It seems.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
this is like a shag carpet
This is shag.
of a man, and he's lime green.
So you're familiar with the Shamrock Shake, presumably.
oh, of course, It's not that great. Let's say
It's fine. But also, you didn't know that Grimace has an Uncle O'Grimace, which does bring into question, is his name Grimace O'Grimace? Because presumably the family
some
name could be still...
that's some Mario bullshit.
Yeah,
where
it's
they
some
just
Mario.
Wait, there's so many facets because like the McDonald's brand has just ejected its entire cast. I haven't seen Grimace in a long time. So
No.
the fact that it's like, here's Grimace, he's back, and he has his uncle who's just drunk in the back. He's like, well, you want me to come into work with you then? Well, I think I could maybe after a little nip, I could possibly.
What's this? Your Shamrock Shake has booze in it? Oh, who could have done that?
Who added this whiskey? It was me.
All right, here's the article. Each February and March is Shamrock season at McDonald's. That's when the mega chain rolls out one of its few and likely most temporary annual offerings, the Shamrock Shake, an extremely sweet vanilla and mint flavored and notably bright green colored drinkable dessert. Introduced by the franchise in 1967 and only made nationally available since 2012, the Shamrock Shake is St. Patrick's Day adjacent tradition for McDonald's. Back in 1975, McDonald's added a character to its kid-targeted McDonaldland pantheon to promote and create an origin story for the Shamrock Shake, because the 1970s were a beautiful time where a shake needed a backstory. Where did it come from? Why are we drinking?
These executives are around a boardroom and they're like, what's the lore though?
But how
What's
does
the
this fit
canon?
into the greater McDonald's land universe?
Who's this related to? Could it be Ronald himself?
Who did we have to milk to get the shake?
Although, let's be clear, I think that the Grimace is probably the best out of the cast, because now I gotta Google the cast of
The McDonald land.
The bird, like Birdie, I think
There's
her name
Hamburglar.
was. Hamburglar, that's, I wouldn't allow that because that goes into Irish stereotypes in a way, where it's like untrustworthy Irishman.
Is he specifically Irish?
No, but if they made a Irish, like if he had an uncle that was like, and this is Hamburglar O'Flaherty, and it's like, I go into your house and I steal all your things. Like, that would not be good.
That would not be good.
that would be on the level of in Star Trek Deep Space, or not Deep Space Nine, in The Next Generation. There's an episode where they go because they're like, oh, we got to pick up these people from a planet, and they're all rural Irish people in the year of like 3000, and they were literally wearing vests and had goats and stuff, and they're like, oh, thank you for bringing us, good thing you got our full distillery, like that level of just like,
Yikes.
oh, we're gonna do every single stereotype there is, we're gonna have a drinking contest, like, but I'm
God.
like, Star Trek, please, you're supposed progressive. And then, Grimace here comes in. He's like, Captain Picard, let me tell you what you're going to be drinking.
I'm progressive. All right, so they created an origin story via Uncle O'Grimacy. It was all thanks to Uncle O'Grimacy, relative of regular shake-loving character Grimace, who appeared once a year around the Ireland honoring holiday, bearing his magical and minty concoction for all McDonald's customers, kids and adults. Uncle O'Grimacy disappeared entirely for nearly 40 years, only for McDonald's to revive the character for a chain-wide charitable drive, marketing blitz, and Shamrock Shake awareness campaign. Here's a look at the origins, rise, resurgence, and the mysterious Uncle O'Grimacy.
And now, time for our ad sponsor before we get to the 2-hour-long episode about the history.
It's only a little bit. It's not that long. In 1971, McDonald's and its advertising agency unveiled McDonaldland, a fantastical, whimsical land full of fast food treats and populated by child-friendly characters that served as the setting for decades worth of TV commercials. Built around existing advertising mascot and burger-loving clown Ronald McDonald, McDonaldland's denizens were usually associated with particular McDonald's menu items for marketing purposes. For example, Birdie the Early Bird, not so subtly pitched breakfast food. Officer Big Mac was a police officer with a Big Mac for a head, and Grimace couldn't get enough milkshakes. Unto this world...
That was the weirdest part. I always thought he was a chicken nugget. Like a purple weird chicken nugget, but still a chicken nugget. That's.
I think he's better left undefined. He basically was a blob, and kids filled in the lore.
Yeah, he just kind of has a face.
He's a blank slate
that's the main
for your
thing
lore.
about it.
Into this world arrived Uncle O'Grimacy, and fairly early into the McDonaldland era too. After the first Shamrock Shakes were sold in 1967, the character showed up in commercials in 1975, specifically connected to the annual menu edition. Because Grimace was already linked with shakes, and because Shamrock Shake was so associated with St. Patrick's Day, the decision was made to create an Irish relative of the pre-existing mascot. In the 1970s, McDonald's dipped its proverbial toe into some advertising and marketing ideas that, in retrospect, might have been suspect, if not more than a little offensive. Stereotyping characters according to their race or culture is just not done in the 2020s, particularly in advertising. 50 years ago, however, McDonald's tried to sell a couple of products by connecting them to Irish-coded mascots. McDonald's pushed its Filet-O-Fish sandwich as an option to Catholics observing the meat-restricted period of Lent. Ireland is...
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Right? Ireland is historically Catholic, and in 1967, McDonald's briefly marketed its fish sandwich with a cartoon character with an Irish-sounding name, Phil A. O'Fish.
Okay, that's...
Phil A.
Fine. Okay, this
Fine. You got me. My family was named O'Fish, and when we came through Ellis Island, it got turned to Kane. You got me.
Is it okay if we just do the stereotypes only to that country? Is it fine then if we just feed it directly to that? Like if all the Irish and then all the Italians are just like, yahoo, yahoo, like, pasta.
So next in 1975, they debuted Uncle O'Grimacy, covered in green fur like the Emerald Island, or the Shamrock Shake he was tasked with promoting. He was outfitted in Irish signifiers and a wide-brimmed green hat and a vest decorated in shamrocks, and carried a walking stick called the shillelagh. In TV commercials, Uncle O'Grimacy spoke with a distinctively Irish brogue. Uncle O'Grimacy was presented as so exceedingly Irish that after the character was phased out in the 1980s, it led to an urban legend that McDonald's had gotten rid of the character because the actor who portrayed the mascot had publicly made comments in support of the revolutionary group called the Irish Republican Army.
I was gonna make a joke about that.
Uncle O'Grimacy out here selling shakes so to fund the IRA.
He's fighting for the IRA. Like he's out there just the actor is just they call him in, they're like, we know about your crimes, Mr. O'Grimacy. One, that's the character's name. That feels weird. Two, I'm a private citizen of a different country, and I'll bomb whoever I want.
What I do after 5 p.m. is my own business.
This is... If they, I'm now imagining just terrible commercials for like, get your Shamrock Shake, and in the background a car explodes.
It'll make your taste buds go boom. The next section is titled, Uncle O'Grimacy is from a big family of grimaces.
Okay, I don't need this Patrick Star lore or the
you do though.
parents.
Okay, we only have a few paragraphs left. It's not a very long article. Uncle Grimace wasn't just an expansion of the universe of McDonald-led characters. He represented the first time that McDonald's customers and TV commercial viewers learned about the original figure Grimace's expansive and curious family. His first appearance came in a 1957 TV commercial for the green-colored Shamrock Shake, which within the realm of McDonaldland is made possible by the inherent magic of Uncle Grimace, who can turn anything and everything green. He's assuredly friendly. He's sort of the Shamrock touch. He's got the Shamrock touch.
Oh no, I am cursed to live with this.
I used to be purple, just like my nephew.
Me bunny wife used to have the nicest red lips, and then I went in for a kiss. They're green now.
Oh, the fruit I touch turns unripe. A beautiful ripe summer strawberry turned green. Who wants that?
I'm sick of sour apples. They're all green.
He's assuredly friendly and a friend of Ronald McDonald, just like Grimace, who was once a shake-stealing villain named Evil Grimace.
What?
He used to be.
That's like the TikTok.
Your brain.
Have you ever heard the TikTok? Like, there's a voice thing where it's like, I wanted to pet the kitty, but then I saw that it was evil kitty. And then there's a new version of that of like, I thought it was baby, but then I saw fat baby. And it's people holding up their like kittens and stuff, and their bellies are all distended from having so much milk.
Oh my God. The public acceptance of Uncle Grimace and his annual appearances in the lead up to St. Patrick's Day, Shamrock Shakes in Tow, led the introduction of more Grimace relatives. In the home video Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, it's established that Grimace's parents are named Grimabeth and Louie. His grandma Grimabeth and Louie.
They're in a shack in Appalachia.
I think Grimabeth got the raw end of that deal because Louie is a very normal name.
Grimace, come on in to your mother, Grimabeth.
Come on, Grimabeth.
We're going to have milkshakes for dinner.
So, uncle is Irish, mother is distinctly Southern? Question mark?
Seems it.
His grandma is Winky, and he is the brother of Gonga, king of all Grimaces.
These are
Gonga
no longer
Grimace.
These are fucking Teletubbies. He's reading with the Teletubbies.
In a 90s TV ad, Grimace interacts with his aunts Millie and Tilly. It's not clear where Uncle Grimace falls in the Grimace family tree or the royal line of succession. Yeah, we got to know about who's inheriting
royal
from Gonga.
Line
Gonga.
Succession. Gonga.
You know what? Maybe Uncle Grimace is fighting against the oppressive nature of Gonga. I could see that. Here's the wrap up. The sometimes shady McDonaldland characters were disused almost entirely by the 21st century, but McDonald's has strategically reviving McDonaldlands in the 2020s, bringing back characters like the Hamburglar and Grimace to play on nostalgia and market particular products. The purple-colored Grimace's birthday shake was McDonald's first and its finest in 2023, and so in 2025, when Shamrock Shake season descended on the chains as it does every year, Uncle Grimace made his return to the seasonal prominence. McDonald's
I'm back.
So they only used previously for about 10 years. McDonald's worked up some lore to explain the character revival. Evidently, Grimace recently came across the original cherished family recipe for the Shamrock Shake, and it prompted him to get back in touch with his Uncle Grimace, with whom he'd grown estranged. All that drove Uncle Grimace to depart his home in Shamrock, Ireland, and head to the U.S. to promote his cherished Shamrock Shake for a good cause. The McDonald's created charity, the Ronald McDonald House, celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2025. And so 25 cents from all the Shamrock Shakes will be donated to charities.
Oh, Grimace, me bonny nephew. You know, I love coming to America, but I wanted to tell you about things that I did in the intervening years. Have you heard about QAnon?
Oh no, Uncle Grimace, no!
It goes over the ocean, you see. There's the internet, and Q has a lot of great theories.
Oh no, Uncle Grimace. You see, McDonaldland, Grimace, oh, it's flat, don't you see? There's no roundness to it whatsoever. There's an edge, and when you get to the edge, there's shakes as far as the eye can see.
He's going to the Irish equivalent of like Valhalla. He's the milkshake equivalent of Valhalla.
What's this you've got in America? An Irish import? Oh, what's this? A Guinness? Oh no, Uncle Grimace, don't try it. You're gonna love it too much. No.
He goes to Chicago to see them turn the river green. He's like, they've made the river into shamrock shakes. I can't fucking believe it.
Well, I hope your next segment tells me even more about the extended family tree of Grimace, and I won't accept no for an answer. On to the next segment.
That in that case, yes. I have a few. I have a quick in the news just in honor of both St. Paddy's Day and Women's Month, because this is from the Irish Star. Bratz releases Sinead O'Connor doll to celebrate Women's Month.
Thanks,
do you
Bratz.
know who Sinead O'Connor is?
I don't. Maybe I do by what she's done.
She's very controversial. The thing that both made her extremely famous and ended her career is she went on SNL and ripped up a picture of the Pope in like the 90s, which was not a good look. It's similar to like when the Dixie Chicks were like, "Hey, war is bad," and then all their bases like Republican conservative people who were like, "War is good though. We like war.
We like war,
and so we're gonna like cancel you basically before canceling was a thing." But Sinead and the like. There's a whole thing about it, but Sinead O'Connor famously has like a bald head and has very grungy style, so it's a very weird. Because I'm going to send you the picture of the breast.
So they made a brat out of her.
They made a brat out of her.
How old? Wait, how old is she?
She's passed away.
Okay.
Because she passed away in July 2023. They say her debut album was The Lion and the Cobra in 1987. So. Okay. That's I'm not going to do the math right now, but they released this in an Instagram post. The brand introduced Sinead as an Irish singer, songwriter, and activist with a passion for 90s grunge fashion.
It also just interesting, like you said that she was basically brought down by this one act of ripping up a picture of the Pope. I feel like we're so desensitized to crazy shit at this point that I'm like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, back in the day, it was a huge deal though. Like it was genuinely. And then she made headlines as an outspoken artist who advocated for women's rights and awareness around issues like child abuse, racism, and organized religion. So they're just like, yeah, Bratz wants to highlight powerful female icons each week across the month of March, celebrating their contributions both past and present to the music and fashion industries, as well as contributing to social issues. Last week, they honored Chapel Rowan, a queer artist who has been bringing attention to the LGBTQ issues.
I bet that's flying off the shelves. People like Chapel Rowan, yeah.
I don't know if they made a brat of her, though. I'll look that up. But now we go into a couple of, I'm going to call this segment, Stupid Stats.
Give me the numbers. I need those numbers. Oh, geez. I need those numbers, Will. Come on. I need them.
This is an article from Newsweek from a couple of years ago. A surprising number of Americans think they could beat wild animals in a fight.
Hell yeah, dude. I am part of this. I am part of this cohort. Get me in there. Get me in the ring. I'm fighting a goose. Come on.
These are from YouGov, which I've never heard of before, but they say that they
YouGov.
poll Americans. YouGov. Oh, YouGov. There's not, this is one of those articles where they go, like, half the article is like, could you beat a bear in a fight? And then they go into detail of why you wouldn't be able to kill a bear in a fight, because they're they can crush a bowling ball. They're going to be able to crush your fucking skull, dude.
A bowling ball made of what?
But then they go into like, could you beat a lion? Could you beat a crocodile? And it's like, we're not going to go into that. But I wanted to quiz you specifically on whether you think you could fight these people, and then we'll go into the stats. So
fight these people? Who am I fighting?
Or through these animals. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do you think now? Do you want this?
Just start naming people. My upstairs neighbor Billy. You think you could beat him in a fight?
you could probably beat him.
Could you please beat him in a fight? He's really bothering me.
Now, here, do you want them in order of how they? Because they do it in like descending order, basically. Or do you want me to randomize it?
Whatever you think is more fun.
We'll do it in order. Do you think you could fight a rat?
I think I could.
And they
I think I have battled a rat before and I've come out on top.
Yeah, this is one of the most surprising statistics because they say that only 72% of people think they could beat a rat in a fight if they are unarmed. And that's all they say, by the way, because that's also something I wonder about this is what is your definition of winning a fight? Because to me,
my question is, what is your definition of unarmed? You giving me shoes? If I got shoes, I'm stomping that guy.
That's true. You could. Oh, yeah, that's actually true. Are you wearing shoes? Because that is, or are you completely like clothesless? Like, are you nude?
Am I nude? Because I really
that's a tougher fight.
I think I could kill a rat in the nude, but I would never recover. I would never recover mentally from killing a rat in the nude. I don't want to be anywhere near a rat when I'm nude.
I am saying that these are fights to the death. Like in my mind, that's the only way to make this. A rat, I'm 100% killing a rat. There's no way that a rat's beating me.
For that rat, it's Shadow of the Colossus for that rat.
Yeah, unless it has a fucking disease and is going to get me in the long game, it's not in the long game.
Like it killed me 3 years later. Yeah, but I don't count that as a win.
Do you think you could beat a house cat?
I wouldn't like it, but I think I could.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't like it.
I could definitely. My cat has. Sometimes he just gets a bee in his bonnet and he just goes, I'm going to fuck you up now. Like he does this maybe once a year, twice a year, where he'll just be like, and I can usually be like, you're looking at me weird. I'm starting to be able to clock it, but he scratched me up a lot. Yeah. Unless he gets a jugular vein or a main vein, his claws aren't long. The longest they get
do
is
a lot
of
damage. Long. Yeah.
69% of people think that they can beat a cat in a fight, which lower than I thought it would be.
Well,
I
think that's probably true. You say 69% of people under 5 probably can't beat a cat, and people probably older than 85 probably couldn't beat a cat.
I don't think they're polling those people. This is only the people they polled. So of the people that they presumably of adults, because you're right, I don't think a child would have a harder time. But do you think you could defeat a goose?
I think I could defeat a goose, and I think I could beat a goose easier than I could beat a cat.
Yes, they have the fragile necks. That also, I think I would go for.
It's the one thing it's going to be trying to do is bite you. And if you just grab it right below its head, what is it doing? It's fucked.
Flapping its wings, trying to get you with its little feetsies. Once you lift it up, it's fucked.
You're done.
They specify medium-sized dog. By the way, 61% of people think that they could fight a goose, which these are all lower than I would normally think.
I think that I could beat a medium-sized dog, but I think I get fucked up in the process.
Yeah, I think that too. Basically my strategy would be kind of do what they do in those dog training videos where they offer their forearm just as you bite this and then I'm going to punch your fucking eyes out. That's where my strategy would be. And 49% of people think that they so less than 50% of people think they could take on a dog, which is interesting to me because based on the shit talking I hear on the internet where people are like, I could take a tiger. Yeah. You would think,
yeah.
What about an eagle?
An eagle with its power of the thing is again, it has to get me so specifically.
Yes. That's one of those things that if it's attacking you, that means it's in grabbing range.
Right. And it has to come to me.
Hollow bones. They got some.
It could really fuck me up. Once again, it could really fuck me up, but I think I could take it.
Hit and run tactics are going to be its thing, and it'll scratch my face up. If I can get my hands on it, if I can just grab its wings and just do a backbreaker where I step on its back and break it's done. But large dog. Only 30% of people think they could take an eagle. A large dog.
Large dog is when it starts to come into question because I think a large dog could get me.
Yeah, I think that
it needs one good throat bite, and then I'm kind of fucked.
People, I feel are very weary of cats because cats are a little bit more they're more willing to attack. You know what I mean? Whereas, they're on average, they're more willing to attack. A dog, I feel doesn't attack. Most dogs are chill and cool. When a dog attacks, it fucks people up.
Yeah, it really does.
This was 23% of people think they could take on a dog.
This is where I'm iffy. I'm iffy here.
This is literally the line for me. I think I could maybe pull out a victory against a large dog. Chimpanzee,
I think I'm
not winning. I think you're fucked. I think all the ones after this, I'm gonna say, there's one that I think I could defeat after this, and it might be interesting to see which one you think I could beat.
What about like a bobcat or like a mountain lion? Is that on the list? Because like a bobcat is like a big cat.
No, they don't have it on the list, but I think that's, to me, I would say that's more dangerous than a chimpanzee.
Really?
Like a chimpanzee,
I think a bobcat would fall in between.
Oh, well, yeah, bobcat, but if it's like a mountain lion, I think because there's different, like a bobcat is a smaller. Maybe I'm thinking of like a fisher cat. Like I think that's another name for it. But
I think that chimps are just really, really scary.
They could pull your fucking arms out. It's of the sockets. It's insane. King Cobra.
Cobra!
Not winning against the King Cobra.
Okay, not winning against the King Cobra. No.
I don't think 17% of people think they can take on a chimpanzee. Only 15% of people think they can take on a King Cobra.
I feel like I would rather fight a King Cobra than a chimpanzee, though. That ranking feels kind of wacky to me.
Yeah. Kangaroo. Do you think you could take on a kangaroo?
Gonna fuck me up, dude. It's got those powerful legs. It's gonna wreck my day.
It's funny because they have 3 pictures. One of somebody being terrorized by a goose. Like the goose, the person is on the ground, leg up, goose full attacking them.
Oh no.
The other one is somebody taking a swing, a guy with a backwards hat taking a swing at a kangaroo, and the kangaroo's dodging back. Like,
almost got me, idiot. Almost got me.
The last one is literally from that movie with the bear. What was it called? The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Yeah.
Where he gets mauled by a bear.
Yeah. So, do you think you could take on a kangaroo?
No, I do not think I could take on a kangaroo.
This is one where this is my toxic masculinity. I think I could maybe take a kangaroo.
But you don't have any. Maybe. You don't have any tools. It's just you and the kangaroo.
It's but that's wits. Like I feel like he is slightly stronger. I am smarter though. So he's got more
range. The thing is, he's got more range than you. He's kicking.
Or the tails are strong. Could the tail? Because if I get behind it, is it going to just take my legs out with the tail? Maybe. But if I can get in a headlock, maybe. Anyway, wolf. 14% of people say they can take on a kangaroo. 12% think they can take on a wolf, which I'm like, yeah,
I'm not.
fair.
No one say I'm not beating a wolf.
I'm just going to go through the stats at this point because I think this is definitely with it.
This is where we cut off. Yeah.
Crocodile 9%. Gorilla 8%. This is where it gets like there is a certain percentage of people that it's like, okay, so you're just the crazy diehards that think you could literally fight. Like
you'd have to be roid raged out and you probably still would not win against a gorilla.
We are figuring out the like the people who always say they will do this.
Yes.
Gorilla is 8%, elephant is 8%, lion is 8%, and grizzly bear
is. What do you think you're gonna do?
Yeah,
what is your plan? You have no tools. What is your plan?
Even if you had a gun, there's literally elephant guns. Like guns that have a higher caliber to get through their hide.
They can shake off a gun. Yeah, a gunshot, a regular gunshot.
The only thing I'll say about in their after thing, because I read through them, and the one about defeating a lion is really funny to me because they're like, most Americans aren't used to seeing lions like active. They mostly see them when they're just lounging about, and I'm like, they don't imagine them like full on coming at them.
I've had the privilege of watching lions hunt, and they would fuck you up, dude. They're
gigantic.
Yes, they are gigantic, and notably hunt in packs. But you can't. This would be a 1v1. I still think they would get you. Like, I don't think you're winning. I don't think you're coming.
Grizzly bear. I saw a video of them feeding a grizzly bear like at the thing. It is literally twice the size of a human. Like when it's on its legs. On his it weighs like 8 times as much. Tons. You're just fucked. But that was a nice little stupid poll for you.
I love a stupid poll. Give me those stats.
Yeah, I have another list that it's going to get you nice and angry, but we'll leave that until next time.
All right.
For now, let's get into your next segment.
My next segment. I'm slopping through the trough. I'm getting in the mud. I'm slopping. I'm crawling underneath the barbed wire. There's gunfire over my head. I'm ducking. I'm dodging. Oh, God. Then what's this I found in the mud? It's a news report from PR Newswire. Wingstop auctions off first ever bottle of their iconic ranch, complete with a year's supply.
What? I feel like blank supply of... blank is a thing that has happened on multiple PR newswires, and every single time it's been like with restrictions. Like see the asterisk.
Paid out as a gift certificate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the corporate. Oh, amazing. I'm so glad that I sacrificed for my country and for this news story.
Thank you.
Wingstop's iconic ranch isn't just a dip. It is a fan obsession and one of the flavor brand's most talked about menu items. For years, guests have begged for it to be bottled. And now, in honor of National Ranch Day, Wingstop is making history for America.
Dun, dun, dun! Thank you. You're welcome, America.
Many heroes fell in the battle for this ranch dip, but it was entirely worth it.
Absolutely.
The brand is auctioning off its first ever official bottle of Wingstop Ranch, with complete access to a year's supply of ranch refills. Wingstop Ranch delivers a flavorful punch to every chicken wing, tender sandwich, or fry it touches. Made fresh in restaurants every day, Wingstop's Ranch is a true fan favorite. Here we go. Here's the quote. Wingstop Ranch isn't just any dip. It's legendary. We've seen ranch fountains go viral, and people cater Wingstop Ranch at their weddings. But one of the biggest trends we see is its fans begging us to bottle and sell our house-made ranch. Now, for the first time ever, we're answering that call, said Wingstop's chief revenue officer, Mark Christensen. Oh, we got to get the revenue guy on the phone for this one. Break out the big guns.
I love that he's not the PR guy because they're like, don't mention the fountains. Don't mention the ranch fountains. They're gross, dude. And he's just like, everybody loves a good ranch fountain. And they're begging on their hands and knees every day. They come to my door and they say, give us that good ranch. We're starving to death and we need the calories. And I say, get your hands off of my Corinthian leather boots, you bitch.
If you're not lucky enough to take home our first official bottle, you can still celebrate National Ranch Day the right way with free ranch at any Wingstop today. The exclusive auction listing can be found at this URL, which we will be clicking over into.
Oh, of course.
Where the highest bidder will secure a year's worth of ranch refills, asterisk. Here we go. At their local Wingstop. To add to its value, the winner will receive a certificate of authenticity signed by Wingstop's head of culinary, Chef Larry Bella. And really, Chef Larry, you cracked the code on this one. Ranch, my dude. You freaking boomed it, my dude. You know the people love go freaking for this ranch, my dude.
I haven't seen The Office, but I've seen the meme of Michael Scott when he like became the branch manager or something, and it's him with like a younger and with like a mullet, and he just looks awkward with while he's getting a diploma thing from a guy smiling. That's what I imagine whoever gets this certificate of authenticity. Just come up on stage. You got the ranch award.
You got the ranch award. All right. Well, so we're clicking over. This is, you know what? This wasn't even like a in-house. This was straight up a bottle of ranch listed on eBay.com where we frequent.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust that. Something about eBay feels like somebody's pulling everything from their dusty basement.
But Will, maybe they have a picture of the certificate of authenticity, Will. It's for real.
It's real. It's just been hanging out outside my fridge, opened.
This is literally just, a bottle of ranch. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah, not.
I would send you a picture, but it's like a bottle of ranch, and so people bid on it. And the asterisk was that one person will receive 3 Wingstop gift cards, each valued at $500 for a total value of $1,500. The total value of Wingstop gift cards is greater than the current dine-in carry-out price of 2 large ranch items. The total value of Wingstop gift cards is greater than the current dine-in carry-out price of 2 large ranch items plus tax, valued at $15.19 per fill-up, every 4 days for a total of 92 fill-ups, excluding any applicable surcharges, any gratuities, and any applicable delivery fees or charges. So they're basically telling you are allowed to go in and get $30 worth of ranch every 4 days for a year. And that's what we're qualifying as a year's supply. My dude, if you are consuming $30 worth of ranch every 4 days, see a doctor. See a doctor.
Wow, this is not enough ranch for
I
me.
paid on eBay for this body.
The certificate is here. He's like waving it around.
This body is authentically a ranch.
My body is ready for, you know what? Just get the trough out.
All right, well, what do you think this bottle of ranch ended up going to auction for? Because it is over at this point, so we know the final price.
So you get more from just getting $30, or what they're saying is you go in every 4 days and you can get $30 worth of.
Right, so they're handing you three $500 gift cards, and they were explaining their math.
Okay,
they were saying that's how they came up with that figure, basically.
Okay, that's because we ran into this before of like, oh, well, it's actually just gift cards. And it was like...
Right. It was Domino's Pizza for a year, but it was $500 worth of gift cards.
Because I don't know about you, I'm imagining like a Willy Wonka, like...
It's way more fun. I want to fall into a river of ranch and be scooped up by an Oompa Loompa.
Maybe it wouldn't be an Oompa Loompa. It'd be like, oh,
Oompa Loompa.
Oh, fuck, dude.
This factory tour is brought to you by Dude Wipes. Oh, God.
I would love if he had a little speech like he does in the movie of like, well, I found the Oompa Loompas. They were in a city called Cincinnati. And I found them. They were just fat guys on the street.
And we brought them here to live productive lives.
Do you like ranch? Come with me and you'll be full of fucking ranch. Come on.
Full of fucking ranch. Come on with me.
Oh my God. Okay, so how much? So what was the question again? How much do I think
it went to auction for? What was the final?
Much
yeah,
it's going to be absurd. I think it's going to be like $10,000.
Oh my gosh.
Was I close?
No, it's less than that. I think
No.
I mean no. So it was $1,925, which is still a lot of money. Like
that's a lot of money.
So even if you get $1,500 worth of refills, you still paid over $400 for a bottle of ranch. So I'm not really sure who's doing this. I guess it's a piece of memorabilia for Wingstop, which feels odd to me, but people are kind of crazy.
Here's the thing. Maybe it's the same people who got into NFTs, but now they're hyping it up like in a way that they're discovering the fact is like, you can pay money and they give you a physical thing.
They give you
ranch. Get a thing. You can get ranch and you eat it and it'll be like you could put it on your wings. It's not just a thing on your computer screen.
The problem is that all ranch is actually fungible, and they have really messed up with this scheme.
Oh man, we fudged it up, man. Shit. Oh man. Stupid.
Well, Will, I hope that you get to eat some ranch in the near future. But until then, please tell me about your next segment.
I shall. This is going to be Amazon erotica.
Ooh.
And we're going to have to see how far we get into the series because we are running out of a bit of time. But this is a series called Bound by Hatred. We have not. The actual name of it is Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles. It's the title of the.
Oh, good. I've always wanted to have a natural birth in a bathtub full of blood.
I love these mafia stories. They always make me laugh because they're always. This one is like consuming a season of The Penguin. So, all the names are the most Italian. We'll get right into it. But for people who don't know about this segment, I read the descriptions of the bestsellers of erotica on Amazon, and they're always a treat. Just so we put it out there, we're not laughing at people who enjoy this stuff, but by its nature, out of context, it's usually funny. Like it's always like high emotions and silly names. But let's get into Bound by Honor, which is the first book. Because of my beauty, I was given to a monster in exchange for peace. I was only 15 when my father promised me to Luca Vitello.
Oh, God. 50? That's not good.
Not good at all.
It's a rough start.
The future capo of the New York Mafia. I never had a choice. After my 18th birthday, I have to marry the man who got his nickname, The Vice, for crushing some man's throat with his bare hands.
The Vice. Hey, give him the clamps, boss.
I know, the clamps. Give him the clamps. I'm terrified of our wedding night because of the bloody sheets tradition of the Famiglia. Maybe Luca is one of New York's most sought-after men because of his predator-like charisma.
No.
Somebody was like, Theo, you're a very charismatic man. You're very predator-like. You'd be like, no.
I would be like, okay, I'm going to need to know how to get rid of that from my personality.
Yeah, I don't need this for me. But the society girls that throw themselves at him don't know what I do. The bad boy attitude isn't a game. Blood and death lurk beneath Luca's cold eyes. In my world, a handsome exterior often hides the monster within. The only way to escape the marriage would be to run, but Luca would burn down the world to catch me. My only chance is to work my way into Luca's heart, if he even has one.
I don't know, babe. I'd love to hold hands at the movie, but I'm afraid I'd clamp you too good. Oh,
I would
geez,
clamp
babe.
your fucking head. Sorry, I'm the capo, the future capo of the New York Mafia.
Babe. I was just trying to hold this hot dog at the baseball game, and I clamped it right in half.
It's not a good nickname, too, because if you're going to be capo, I feel like you would want a nickname that maybe has a level of like negotiation. But if you're like the clamp, like if you're the vice, you're just killing people.
Yeah, you do so want something like The Godfather that could sound welcoming and then menacing. Not, I'm gonna squeeze your neck till you're dead.
You. But this, all these names are bound by blank. So this one's bound by duty. Dante Cavalio's wife died 4 years ago, but her memory still haunts him. On the verge of becoming the youngest head in the history of the Chicago outfit, Dante needs to remarry or risk appearing weak. This isn't a political house. This is like, hey, you're not.
What, you're too scared to get married again? Like, no, my wife died. What do
just
you mean?
because I'm the Duke of Wellington doesn't mean that I necessarily need to marry again. But everyone will think you're gay. She too, but
Babe, if I don't carry in all the groceries in one trip, they'll think I'm gay.
That's a nice, strong man. Valentina is chosen for the role, and she chose him back because she's like, he got all the groceries in one load. I can't believe it. She too lost her husband, but her first marriage has always been for show. Even after her husband's death, Valentina carried the weight of her secrets with her to protect the honor of a dead man and herself. With her wedding to Dante, her castle of lies threatens to crash. Valentina fears the wedding night might reveal her secret, but her worries prove unfounded when Dante ignores her. That's
honestly like best case scenario.
Yeah, that's like, I love that she's like, you know what? It's actually pretty nice because he doesn't even notice.
He doesn't even bother me. I can live my life.
Soon her fear turns to confusion and anger. Why aren't you abusing me? Come on, don't you like me?
Oh no.
Valentina is tired of being ignored. She's determined to get Dante's attention and desire, even if she can't get his heart that still belongs to his dead wife.
Ugh, dead wife always getting in the way. Ugh.
Gosh darn it. But I think this will be the last one that we do. Although I'm going to say the last, like the book 5 of this, it does the 2 character thing, where one of the perspectives is Growl. So
yeah, good.
And the other is Kara, but the actual thing of it is more of the same. But Growl as a name. But book 3 is bound by hatred and enemies to lovers mafia romance, which has a tag that I have not seen before of best of book talk. Like, so this is popular.
On TikTok,
this has like 10,000 ratings, by the way. This is not a niche series. When Gianna watched her sister Aria get married to a man she barely knew, she promised herself she wouldn't let the same thing happen to her. Matteo, the Blade, Vitello, sits it. That was like, that's his nickname, is the Blade. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate up.
Matteo, Ezio Auditore da Firenze in the Blade.
But Matteo, the Blade, Vitello, sets his eyes on Gianna the moment he saw her. The moment he saw her on his brother Luca's wedding, which is a really weird way to phrase that. And Rocco Scuderi is more than willing to give his daughter to him. But Gianna has no intention of marrying for any other reason than love. You want my daughter? Have her. I will even throw in a nice bouquet. A few months before the wedding, Gianna escapes her bodyguards and runs away. She has enough money to flee to Europe and begin a new life, but staying undetected when the mob is searching for her is a challenge that takes everything. Like, she's now like a whole born identity running away. Especially as one of their best hunters and assassins is after her, Matteo Vitello. After 6 months on the run, Gianna finally settles into a tentative routine in Munich. But when Matteo and a couple of her father's soldiers find her with another man, despite her pleas, they kill her boyfriend. And this is the entire plot, by the way. Despite her pleas, they kill her boyfriend, and Gianna is forced to marry Matteo. Her emotions alternate between guilt over having dragged an innocent into her world and hatred for Matteo. Gianna is determined to make life hell for her husband. But Matteo is a master of mind games, and their struggle for power soon turn into hate-filled nights of passion. He's like, but what if you think I'm a pretty cool guy? She's like, oh, what if? Damn it. Mind games.
I can't wait for McDonald's to unveil his Italian uncle. It's a Grimace, head of the Italian mob, and a representative of the Mick Ravioli.
Yes, I'm part of the Chicago mob. Turn the river green. Turn it green for me.
Turn it green. You imagine it's like all these buff guys with Tommy guns, and then the boss is just like a Grimace guy.
I just imagine they're all like with the fedoras and stuff, and like the big suits. They all just have big barrels, and they're pouring green stuff in. Which I actually learned that the stuff they put in is actually orange. It's like an orange powder, which is interesting. Huh. But that is where I'm going to kind of leave this off, because there are other books in this series, but they're all similar of mafia dons and all those things. But I have to say to you all, thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. Remember, if you enjoyed it, give it some star ratings, give us some reviews. We'd love to see them. And if you have any segments that you want to send it to Segment City Podcast, and we would love to see what they are. Hit up my YouTube, Golly Gee Willikers, where I put out long-form videos as well as fun shorts. And check out Segment City's YouTube, where we have full episodes. And also, we have a big thank you to give to somebody in particular.
Thank you to Rachel Robinson. She does our intro music, and she has amazing music you can find on Spotify and other streaming platforms. And some say that she's going to make you a milkshake you can't refuse. Okay?
What does that mean? Do I have to... Is there mind control in it?
She's going to turn your insides green with the milkshake that she's going to give you, all right?
Oh, that's not... Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that before you give me the... Because then I'm not going to do it.
I don't know. It seems like a pretty good deal. It's just a milkshake. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, maybe I would end up on the list of unusual deaths. This is how we're going to end the podcast on this day. This one is of an unknown sailor who died in 1892, and I don't know if that makes it more palatable, because we've had ones that it's like, oh, I feel like I know this person, or like I feel a connection because it's a person, whereas this is just like a guy. But a sailor in Bermuda was arguing with other sailors, but the argument turned into a fight, and the sailor was pushed into the water. A Marine began undressing for a rescue attempt, but an officer ordered him to stop because there was a boat nearby that had ladies on it. As the sailor continued struggling in the water, 5 men volunteered to save him, but he had already drowned.
No, the ladies. Can't get undressed for the ladies and save this man. No.
Is this literally toxic masculinity?
This is it. We found it. We found
the exact thing where it's like, listen, they might see your nipples. I can't believe it.
They might witness a death if you do nothing.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that?
Then again, that is so like puritanical, like America especially, or where it's just like, listen, you could show somebody getting their fucking head blown off, but don't show any nipples.
Don't show the nipples.
If I see a single
put those away.
butt, I can't. I'm gonna freak out. Oh, we're ending it.